What is up, guys, and welcome to another video. In this one, we're gonna be talking about a big time blowout between the New York Knicks. Of course, I mean that's what we talk about, and the Philadelphia 76ers. The Knicks practically just ran the 76ers out of the building. But I want to get into the kind of logistics of the whole entire game as I try to break it down. I'm gonna give you the before the game notes that I had. I said off rip, Joel Embiid's my MVP right now. I don't think there's anyone close to him in that race. If it is, then Shea or Jokic. That's it. Or Shea or Jokic or Fox or something like that is that's probably he's like far away. There's like a tier. He's just playing at a different level. Right now they're playing at a fast pace, playing up at the free throw line more with the dribble handoffs from Joel Embiid, which you didn't see today because clamps, and that's what we call it. But you know, um, we were there, and we were down there, and we were in a defensive stance, and those kind of like dribble handoffs downhill for Max, he didn't really happen. Um, because of just the constant effort from OG Anunoby and the constant over the screens, constant switching, giving them different looks, off the dribble handoffs, and um, you can't get into foul trouble on Joel Embiid, and they did a pretty good job in that. No one really he didn't really go crazy at the free throw line. Like it wasn't like somebody was going. It wasn't like the game in the Garden from like last year with Mitchell Robinson and freaking Hartenstein were both trying to take turns at Embiid, and then we had to bring in like Jericho Sims, and then not like that today. It was a different game, and we were able to keep Joel Embiid off the free throw line per se. Um, but as I have it here, Joel Embiid's free throws were 9 or 8. I don't know. I can't really read it because my head's in the way of it. But 9 or 8 free throws is what he kind of had. Uh, yeah, and I how does the Knicks non-Brunson minutes go? Which one of the things I said before the game, and it went really well, and we'll talk about that later. But that those minutes went really freaking well, and that kind of made the switch for me. I'm like, okay, we're gonna win this game. We're gonna definitely win this game. If we're gonna win minutes when Brunson's out, we're winning this game. And that was, yeah, that was kind of it. And how does Maxi deal with length? Because I don't know. It's a new thing for him to see like length like OG Anunoby with the wings. It's a new thing for him. And it was something I was ready to see because Max is pretty damn good basketball player. We see what he's doing out here for the 76ers. I want to see, can he handle length? Can he handle these coverages? Because in the playoffs, stuff like that is gonna happen where you're gonna see length, you're gonna see people smaller you guys, you're gonna see every different kind of body at you. And in the playoffs, I keep saying in the playoffs, because that's so far away. But still, that's the main goal here for the 76ers team is what will you do in the playoffs? Like this team won't miss the playoffs. There'll be a high seed. They just gotta be able to handle business in the playoffs. And they have a very good shot at making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. And then after that, if Joel Embiid has himself a great playoff run, then I think the sky's the limit for the 76ers team. Um, but that I thought Malachi Flynn was gonna play. I was really hyped, but nah. We don't get what we want all the time. And that's what we just gotta understand. You won't get what you want all the time, man, but you will get W's. You will get W's. And that's what Thibodeau has said. You will get W's. But maybe you won't get what you want, but you will get W's. Not the way you want to, but the way we need to. That is the way Thibodeau has coached his team. And if you think about it, it's like, oh, we would love to win with IQ. We love to win with RJ. But that's not the way we were gonna win. We need to win with OG Anunoby. We need to win with Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson without IQ and without RJ. Not like IQ wouldn't help. His IQ would really help, but not like we need to win without RJ. Like those type of things that, like, we didn't want that. We didn't want to win like this. We didn't want to win without RJ. We didn't want to win without Quickly, but it's the way we need to, and it's the way we kind of needed to. Um, um, that's kind of it for my before the game notes. I was gonna say how long would the leash be for I Heart with the fouls? It's just never really gotten in that big of foul trouble. Not that I think. More the guards that got into foul trouble, like Dante. And yeah, let me get. I was gonna think more on the Maxi front. I was just thinking about it. He was kind of getting targeted in the game, which, you know, getting targeted on defense is something that people bring out in the playoffs. Definitely with something like Jalen Brunson, some of Jalen Brunson's kind of superstar status will definitely be somebody who want to target the worst defensive player. And not to say Maxi can't improve defensively, but right now on that court, I felt like he was the worst defensive player. Definitely when they get Melton back. I mean, look, you'll probably want to get Maxi on you, and you just gotta have five solid defenders. And it didn't like they had that today. It looked like the Knicks were able to get Maxi on Brunson at will, get Maxi on whatever defender they want at will, and that's how they kind of attacked. That's not how they won the game. To be fair with Maxi, that's not how they won the game. Like that's not even that's not even like 10% of the reason they won the game, to be fair to Maxi. It's not even like 5%. But like, look, it's one of the biggest things where like we get in the playoffs, those little things are gonna come back to bite the 76ers team. They don't get solid defensively from all five positions. Which I can say, Jalen Brunson had a leap up in defense. I guess you target him, but like, you know what I can say about the Knicks is I got five solid defenders, solid decent defenders. You're gonna have to target one of them, and it'd probably be Brunson, but Brunson has done pretty well defensively so far. I don't know if the numbers say that, but eye test. I watch every single Knicks game. It's eye test for Brunson. It just looked better. I don't know if he got less assignments because no one's really hunting you in the regular season, but I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna say he's playing pretty decent defensively. He's not playing horrible, and that's big. Not horrible. I mean, he's still having these bad lapses, but like he's a 6'1" guard. So, stuff is gonna happen. And if he should give you that offensively, then what are you asking for? Like, you asking for him to be a two-way. If he was a two-way player, he'd probably be best player in the league. So let's not get in that talk. But hey, he had 29 today. Jalen Brunson, 29 points. So that was pretty good for him. Yeah, yeah, he really was scoring a lot in this game. And it helped the Knicks a lot because he was hitting the 3-point shots that kind of will, and kind of sucked the momentum out of the 76ers every single time they tried to answer. It was just Jalen Brunson, Jalen Brunson, Jalen Brunson, DiVincenzo, OG Anunoby rebound. Isaiah Hardenstein floater. Just every single time Jalen Brunson or DiVincenzo or one of the Villanova boys hit like a shot, it just sucked the whole entire crowd out of the game. And Philly gets riled up. So you gotta be able to settle it down, and you gotta be able to take the crowd out of that game. And that Knicks did very well with that. Maxi versus OG was the one that I was looking at with the length. That's why I said, OG's big wingspan. Maxi did pretty well. I mean, look at the stats here. I'm just staring at stats right now. He either had 30 or 27. Again, my head's in the way, but I'll take that. You just gotta have other players, show up. No one else showed up except Oubre, Maxi, and Embiid. Like, you're not gonna win that way. Tobias had like 5 points. That's crazy. He was out. To be fair, he was out like the second half with like an injury. Hopefully, he gets better. But every time that the Sixers kind of like put a gut punch, it was like, oh, third quarter doom. This is done. We're done, man. This is where they come back. No, we realize that we have Jalen Brunson. We realize that we have Dante DiVincenzo, who will just shoot the ball from three. Just put a gut punch to the heart for the 76ers trying to make a run. And I'm gonna hit that point a lot because that was very mature of this team. Maturity is one of the words like I know this team's a vet kind of group, but like still that's very mature to like to like answer every single run. Like it's pretty hard to do, especially in an environment like Philly, to answer every single kind of run. It wasn't like, to be fair, it wasn't like a huge run, but it was a small run. It was a chip into the game type of run. They could have just let him chip in the game, but they didn't. And obviously they didn't because they won 128-92. But every single time the Sixers were going to chip in this game, and I think the Knicks knew that. But they just knew that whenever they chip this game, we got to be ready. We got to be ready. We got to be on our toes. We got to be on our toes. And they cut the game to like 12. The Knicks were on their toes. They were ready. They're ready. One down, Divac a three. One OG, we dunk. Like I'm like, this is not an order, but like that stuff can make a 17-point game, and three can make it a 20-point game. Like they were able to answer every single run with fluid, like amazing. Like it was amazing because I always thought this Knicks team, third quarter of doom. This Knicks team always gonna lose their lead, but man, I'm proud. I'm proud to be a Knicks fan right now with the not the way they won this game, like 128-92, but the way they answered every single run, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. OG, I know we did have some trouble handling the basketball, but again, he's plus 20 like in this game. He's amazing, and I'll take the handling, like handling improvement. That's where you go to work. That's where you work out on, man. The handle does not look tight. I'll be honest. The handle does not look tight. It looked a little bit forced. But again, if you can attack closeouts, is all you got to do to get easy buckets, because a defender will always, always, always close out to a guy like OG Anunoby. And you either shoot the ball when they're not closing out, and you're a 50% 3-point shooter from the corners, or you just drive right past them. And those are easy stuff that OG can do that will get him on the scoreboard, and that's what he did tonight. Especially cutting and dunking, like that. That's some easy stuff that will inject something in your team and also get you on the scoreboard. That's just a little stuff, man. When a 3-point isn't falling, oh yeah, nobody knows how to play the game of basketball, and that's one of the great things about getting him. He just knows, my 3-point isn't falling, so let me attack inside, let me cut back door. Like he just knows the game of basketball, and that's one of the things that you get him for. Yes, every single player knows the game of basketball, but sometimes RJ didn't know. Like I'm struggling. Let me get a cut back door. Let me get an easy bucket. Still doesn't look good for OG in his stats, statistic wise, but I always felt like he understood he couldn't make a three tonight, and he just got a cut back door, and that's what he did, and I was really happy with that. Um, but two was on Brunson, which it didn't really matter anything because they just screened him and they couldn't guard a screen at all. But Batum on Brunson was kind of fun to see him guard length, because like kind of like that Brunson Maxi, just that like kind of like, I know Batum's way worse defender than OG, but it kind of like showing how much better Brunson is than Maxi. Maxi's gonna get there, but it's just like there's a different level Brunson's at, dealing with everything. He's dealt with everything in his career: size, smaller players, hedge, trap, um, you know, uh, switch, um, hard hedge. Like he's dealt with every single defensive coverage. And Maxi's young, um, but there's a different class that Brunson's in, because he knows how to read every single defensive coverage, and that's a point guard right there, and that's why he's a high level point guard. That's why he's way better, and that's why he should not. That's why Maxi shouldn't be fifth in the All-Star game, and that's why he shouldn't be. That's why Maxi shouldn't have more votes in the All-Star game. But whatever. You know, I heard is somebody that we don't want to get the word out, guys. Don't get the word out that iHeart. Do not tell anyone that Isaiah Hardenstein's good at basketball. Just keep that to yourselves, because we need to sign him. We need to sign him. Just keep that to yourselves. Make it a secret. It's a secret. Isaiah Hardenstein, 17 points, amazing blocks, amazing secret. Secret. No one else wants to get on the bidding party if Isaiah Hardenstein. Make it like that. It should be going in the offseason. Isaiah Hardenstein, what do you want? Boom, 4 years, 50. Take it. That should be that simple, but it won't. Obviously, it won't because not everything's secret. There's media. I'm not going to be this old guy. I mean, there's media there that kind of tells everybody that what's everybody doing, and GMs look at that and they're like, okay, Isaiah Hartenstein, let me put a bid in for him. This coming off season, circle him. Um, but it's man, I can't wait to see what the Knicks pay the guy. He deserves every single piece of money. I mean, every single dollar that he gets. But again, you run to the Quigley situation of do you want to play it back? Do you want to pay a backup center money, like big time money? If he's 40 or 50, then fine. But like big time money, really? Unless you want to move on from Mitch, which that's a whole different situation, whole different conversation. But man, just keep the secret, lay low. We'll go in the summer, easy, 54 years, 54 years, take it, leave it. There we go. I mean, take it, not leave it. Take it. If you don't want to take it, then we'll up it to 60. Just then you take it. Like it doesn't need to be that, it doesn't need to be that um hard, but it will. It will. Obviously, because nothing's a secret now in the NBA with all the stuff that's out and all the stuff that's out that the GMs can use and all they see the blocks. I mean, they obviously do. That's why I'm telling everybody to stay secret about it. But again, I'm talking about the non-Brunson minutes, which was one of the things I talked about before the game. We won that minutes, and I just think that kind of like told me that it was just over. It was just over because Embiid played the whole first quarter and Brunson played half of the first quarter, but the Knicks were still up by like 10. So, I don't know about y'all, but Embiid's gonna have to come out, and then Jalen Brunson is gonna need to come back in, and that's just. I mean, you don't need to be a big basketball fan to know that. And that was one of the things. Like, if Deuce McBride gives me about 10 off the bench with good defense, we are gonna be in the Eastern Conference Finals, and that's gonna be about it. So that's just my really opinion on this. If Deuce McBride can be 10, if Grimes can give me 10 too, then if I can get 10 from both or 5 and 10, I'll take it. You know, that's just all I need, man. And they gave it to us in big time fashion. Shout out Quentin Grimes, the closer. Whenever I thought the 76ers would make this miraculous comeback, which it's never game over the Knicks, but Grimes just shut up everything. He just was like, okay, Jack, you want to go to bed safely? You want to go make your video now? You can. But I didn't. I waited till the end of the game, but he was like, okay, Jack, you want to make your video now because the game's over. I didn't do it because I was sitting there watching the game, but I could have done it because it didn't really matter. The game was over. So, Quentin Grimes kind of shut the game down. Not to discredit anybody else, but Quentin Grimes was one that just turned off the lights. Like the lights were already dim, but he just turned it off. Flip the switch. I mean, not flip the switch up, but like down. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was about it. But Randall, let me talk about Randall and his struggles. I don't want to end it off negativity. But again, you know what? I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of positivity to this. I'm gonna start with the negativity. I'm gonna sprinkle in the positivity in this episode. Um, one of the things about Randall is he just whenever he gets cold, Thibodeau in this game tried to draw up 100 plays for him, and it just ends up in a three. It ends up in a three every single time. So can we stop having him, forcing him the basketball in a play where he's gonna get a threes, where he's gonna take a three rather than him just bully down low and realize I got Nicholas Batum on me. Let me get down low. Dibs never realized that. He never realized that. Randall never realized that. No one realized that. So at the end of the day, he was taking a fadeaway three, step back three that, he was cold. I mean, again, if you're hot, then take that three. But if you're cold, then hey, you know, would rather you pass the ball and try to find a better shot. Should I cut back door? Like what I said about OG. But sprinkle in some positivity in that. Randall gave effort, even though he was subbed out in the fourth. He gave effort. He looked like he cared. He looked like he cared to kind of. At least he looked like he was trying to score for the benefit of the team. Like sometimes it's like with him, he's like, I missed a shot. Let me just put my head down. But he was really like he gave an effort on defense, and I felt like again to be fair, it's Tobias Harris, but like Tobias Harris pretty solid. Like he really kind of shut him down. I'm not saying you're shutting down like prime, not say like you're shutting down Giannis, but you're shutting down a decent player. Without Tobias Harris, Tobias is the unsung hero of the 76er team. They can't win with just Maxi and Embiid and Oubre as it showed this game. You have to have Tobias, and Tobias was kind of locked down by Randall. Not kind of, definitely locked down by Randall, and it kind of shifted the game. Even though Randall was kind of like just chucking up threes, it's still on the defensive end. It showed. It showed, and it was very fun to see. That was another positive thing that I'm gonna say. It's a new era in Knicks basketball. It's a new era, not error, not like I had an error, era. But no, I'm gonna do the Wizards game. So I will be at the Blazers game. I will do that game. What you gotta do is you gotta notice that these guys are not a team that you want to lose to. You don't. You just don't. I know it's taking it back to back, but you just don't. And I need a back to back performance from Quentin Grimes. And that's one of my biggest things. Is just give me another performance like that, Grimes. I want a Julius bounce back. Daniel Gafford is sweet for him, but shout you see that search up Julius Randle dunk over Daniel Gafford. Yeah, just do that. I'm blessing you on this Friday night. But that's kind of it for the whole thing that I want to talk about. But again, there's not really a lot. Just don't let Jordan Poole go crazy, because if Jordan Poole gets hot, he gets hot. But that's it. Jordan Poole won't get hot. The Knicks have a solid defensive plan against them. Just throw OG at him or throw OG at Kuzma. I don't know. That's kind of a big decision. I'll throw OG at Kuzma. That's gonna do it. Let's go Knicks and peace out. Have a nice day. And subscribe and turn on post notifications. If you're on Spotify, auto download or do something like that. Subscribe and